That's really, really annoying.
Oh, seriously.
Oh, it's so annoying. Hello there, everybody. I say that considering that, well, we have literally just gone live and nobody really knows that we're up and running. But we usually are around this time. It's around that we usually do a countdown and all of that. We usually do all of the graphics and all the opening credits and all of that stuff and nonsense. At this point, Katrina's typing away saying we're live and hopefully sharing some bits and pieces. Look at that. She knows what she's doing.
Done and done.
It's almost like I don't. It's scary. But that's because this Osmo Pocket 3, which is my wonderful camera, the update on it, which I installed yesterday, has decided, you know what? I'm not going to work as a webcam anymore. Thank you. Technology. It's a fun game. Hello there, everybody. Welcome along to Talking Con, a cup of tea with Englishman in San Diego. My name's Leonard Sultana, and each and every Sunday, usually, we're doing live streams. But as always, as we're getting into the 2-week countdown to San Diego Comic Con, 9 days to go. Single figures. Good God. Yeah, it's getting very, very close now. To the point where, and I know it's been a while since you've been, Katrina. Is it me, or did they used to do the building wraps on the weekend before and the Monday, kind of like the week leading into?
Yeah.
Apparently they are wrapping now. They are wrapping buildings now.
I noticed that they're, because usually I don't know if you follow Parks and Cons, but I love to see their updates, especially around Comic Con, because they'll go down like 2 weeks before and start like showing off photos. But that only started like yesterday, I think, for a majority of the wraps and stuff. Started just over this weekend, so it's kind of wild that like everything's coming together last minute. But from what I've like perceived so far, everything sort of is working that way this year. So we'll see how it plays out.
I think they're getting their money's worth. I think that's what, considering that when it gets to like the Sunday. Literally the second the convention closes, they start ripping stuff off walls like they're embarrassed we were even in town. Get the nerds out of here, for God's sake. Let's go back to normal. But no, listen. Well, like I say, we're doing these shows as we lead up to San Diego. 9 days to go, and this week we're able to get a couple of really good special guests. On Thursday, we're going to be speaking to some guys from Den of Geek who are doing a great AR kind of activation around the whole convention. But today we're speaking to somebody I haven't spoken to literally in years. Because, well, she's been busy. She's been busy bee. Katrina Dennis, hello there. How the devil are you?
I am doing so well. Thanks for having me on today. I'm so excited to talk about Comic Con today.
I mean, when was the last time you went? When was the last time you set foot in San Diego?
2022. 2022, I think. So that's like 3 years-ish, right? That counts as 3.
Fair enough. So you went just as they kind of like were finding their feet again post-COVID and kind of finding themselves in a new dynamic. Because obviously the studios had kind of dialed back a little bit. They were not spending their money either. So it was kind of, it wasn't just, I mean, people talk about, oh, well, Comic-Con hasn't got the heat anymore. And no one's really, at the end of the day, the promo departments and the publicity departments just didn't have the cash, so they were kind of dialing things back as well. So you were seeing a definite shift from the Comic-Con you'd known before then.
Yeah, absolutely. And at that time I was in studio marketing. So one of our, I was agency side. One of our clients was Prime Video. And I believe that year we had Paper Girls, we had The Rings of Power with Lord of the Rings, we had The Boys, we had a couple other campaigns, and all of those ended up getting scaled back from their original pitches because the budgets were just a little too tight. I am surprised that we managed to pull everything off that we did with Paper Girls when we did it.
I remember that year. It was, I mean, I remember the Paper Girls. I was in the lineup for that. I met the girls. That was fun.
It was so fun.
No, I remember Prime Video went all out that year.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that was, I'm glad you thought it was all out, because it was definitely not. It was, we ended up doing about like, and when you pitch things to studios, usually you end up doing like less than half of what you pitched, but like what you saw was like 10% of our plan.
Right.
And that was only because of, budget allotments. I'm not on contract or NDA anymore, so I can't say there was something much bigger planned for the Rings of Power. That just, because of coming back from COVID and all of the changes and things that were going on, monetarily and financially here in the States, like it wasn't feasible to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing like several years out, and like given the political space we're in right now, what things are going to look like, because I feel like that's top of mind when it comes to like all conventions right now, is like how much of our audience was like international versus local. And like that there's a huge difference between something like Fan Expo, which is like a touring stateside convention, versus like Comic Con, or like next year's Star Wars Celebration or something like that, where those are the conventions that people fly in for. So very different this year, and I'm not working marketing this year, which is kind of exciting. I'm doing something radically different.
How is that? How's that feeling?
Really interesting. Like I'm going to be working at the Fan Home booth this year, selling toys, models, etc. They hit my partner up a couple weeks ago and asked if we wanted to just like volunteer and like come to Comic-Con, and we said, heck yeah, let's go sell some spaceships. That sounds fun. So that's what I'm doing this year. I have like my whole Comic-Con is radically different than it usually is, because usually it's like, okay, I need to prepare to be on this side of the gas lamp at like 3, and then I need to be back in the convention by like 5 to do like a ballroom 20 panel and all of this stuff. And now it's just like I just get to wake up and go to the exhibitor hall and work my shifts, and then I just get to walk around and like have no plans, and that's weird.
Be very, very careful with that. I did that last year because of a situation at home when I was kind of looking after my dad. I was a little bit distracted by.
Right.
We'd basically taken the 2 weeks off to do San Diego Comic-Con, and I still had my head back at home looking after dad.
Yeah.
And so my head was a bit of a strange thing. So I went to con with the intention of saying, I've got no plans. Let's just freewheel it. And I was lost. It's like I didn't have a focus. I didn't have a direction. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I know I need to do this. I need to go and see. I ended up kind of like wandering around a little bit in a malaise. It was a very, very, very weird year last year. But then again, it's a very weird year afterwards as well. So
super weird,
all strange. Talk to me about lip gloss or lipsticks and lip things. Tell me about lips.
So I recently started a nerdy beauty company. It's called SideQuest Cosmetics. I think it's backwards, but it does say SideQuest Cosmetics on it. And it's for, it combines the two things that I have done professionally, which is beauty and pop culture, into this nice little like creation that I've put together. And if you know anything about me, or you know any of my history, like way back when I lived in New York, I worked at Sephora, and I was just the nerdy little tomboy when I came in to work the cash register. I didn't know anything about anything, and back then, and I can't speak to this right now, but back then Sephora had a very comprehensive educational program that every employee had to be part of. We had to know everything about every single like item on the floor, so that we didn't give somebody something that made them like break out into cystic acne the next day, and then we get sued or whatever. So it was a really cool program, because once a week we would go in and take a whole class on a product. And the way it kind of radicalized me was that it taught me about the science of beauty and skincare, and how cool it was, and how customized everyone's routine should be. So fast forward to like this year, And I don't know where I kind of had this idea last year to start designing nerdy makeup kits, because like a lot of folks, a lot of brands will do like, oh, here's our Sailor Moon collection, but they're not a nerdy makeup brand. They're not a makeup brand for nerds. And so, last year I designed this Star Trek collection. I swear this is not going to be a forever story. But
Go for
last
it.
year
Go for it.
I designed a Star Trek collection for the next generation, and it had an eyeshadow palette where the colors I sampled directly off of the LCARS screen, so they were a screen match to those colors, and I put them into a palette, and I had hypo spray lipstick and all sorts of cool stuff. And the person who designed the original LCAR screens, Mike Okuda, gave it his thumbs up. And I was like, man, could I make this like a viable thing? Could I pitch it to Paramount? But at the time I didn't have a business. I didn't have a company or anything like that. And so my friend connected me with another company that did have a connection at Paramount, because they did like a D&D makeup line beforehand. So I got that meeting with Paramount where I got to pitch them my makeup, and they really loved it. And I gave them like a 40-slide presentation that included like the marketing plan and like how we would go to market, all this other stuff. And they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Let's do it. And so the plan was to move forward, but the company I was working with, unfortunately, very abruptly closed. Like out of nowhere, the day after New Year's, I logged on to check and go like, hey, I haven't heard from you guys at Paramount for a while. And they were gone. They closed. They were gone forever. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I really want to make this happen. The TNG 40th anniversary is coming up in just a few years. And I really wanted to make it a real thing. And so I just sat there and I was like, why don't I just start my own company? And it had never occurred to me before then that like I could feasibly do this. Like I could start a company and a brand. So the long-term goal is to make IP makeup collections, but the short-term goal is to make accessible beauty, skincare, and makeup products for nerds by nerds. So
this sounds
yeah,
very similar. Well, I mean, sure. This is where you're just going to go. Absolutely. The approach that Tony Kim took when he was doing, because I mean, there is that whole idea of accessories and clothing ranges and things where people will just slap on a logo and just think that will do. When the target audience, when the nerds actually know their stuff and want to combine with a brand to make it not just something where you're just kind of branding it just to kind of get an audience, you are actually combining a proper interest with something that really does appeal to another market, which I mean, absolutely. Well, I mean, fair play to you. And not only that, I mean, the whole idea of having the bravery of just going, I'm just going to start a company. I'm going to do this. I've got the idea of this. I want to run with this. I mean, that's something else.
Yeah, it's so wild to just be like, yeah, I could just do this. I could just start this and do it. And we started, we launched under a different name earlier this year, but I decided to change it because I was very nervous that this name would like pigeonhole us into like, we only make makeup for this one fandom. So we've shifted, and our launch line is a line of 3 lip balms, which by the way are fantastic to take to Comic Con, because California is in the desert and you will get dry chapped lips here if you do not have lip balm on you. I know you're going to be by the water, but that doesn't matter here in California. So we have 3 lip balms. This is inspired by my love of tabletop RPGs. They are colorless lip balms. They come in lavender for the cleric, our healing lavender, our brave, bold paladin in peppermint, which is like my favorite flavor for a lip balm, and then the rogue in citrus for those of us who like to be roguish. And they're available on sidequestcosmetics.com. Again, there's no color in these, so like everyone can use them. Accessibility is a key point in this business for me, because like I said, when I started at Sephora, I was a tomboy. I had no idea about makeup. I barely knew about moisturizer. And now it's like very different for me. Like I love playing in makeup and I love taking care of my skin and myself and my body and all of that. So so I want to create products that like, yes, I want high level cosplayers to use them, but I also just want like the average con goer to be like, oh, you know, I need my hand cream, I need my lip balm, I need these are things in my convention kit that like are important to my day to day. So that's kind of the driving factor behind it all. You know, we've got a couple really cool collections coming up that I'm really proud of, and yeah, and I'll be at SDCC. I won't be vending this exactly.
I was about to say, is there going to be the opportunity for kind of like
Yeah.
showing this to people and getting this out to an audience?
But I will definitely be bringing samples of this to SDCC. So if you find me, you can ask me for a stick of lip balm and I will gladly give it to you, because I want you to talk about my business.
Well, I mean, I would have said in previous years, you saying the sentence, if you see me, because the running joke was between you and me, oh, we'll see you pinball like a crazy woman, and pinning you down is like, it's like trying to pin down the Tasmanian devil. It's insane in the past. So I think actually knowing that you're going to be at a booth where people will be able to see
you can come find me.
Which booth do you, can you give us the booth number? And
I actually have no idea. I don't even have my schedule yet. But we are at Fan Home is the company name. They sell spaceships like Star Trek ship models, figurines, statues, etc. So I'll be at the Fan Home booth. And if you find me at the Fan Home booth, I can tell you where I will be when I'm not in the Fan Home booth, which is when I can give you my product, because I can't give you my product at somebody else's booth. That just I mean, they didn't tell me not to, but that just doesn't feel nice. So
no, makes sense. Well,
but
we'll give you one more opportunity to kind of pimp things, and certainly pimp your social media, and then we'll actually talk about Comic-Con, what you've heard so far, what you're looking forward to seeing, that kind of thing. So, I mean, the big thing that we've been saying here on this live stream is that Twitter can, how can we put this politely, fuck itself, and we're very much now Blue Sky and Threads as the alternative. Are you on there, and where can people find you online for this kind of thing?
So if you're looking for just me, I'm Katrina, OHCATRINA. You can see it right there in the little bubble. Pretty much everywhere, along with like, you know, the okatrina.bluesky. blah blah blah. The long tag that I have not fixed because I don't have a website for myself, but I do have a website for SideQuest. So on Blue Sky, we are sidequestcosmetics.com. On Threads, we're SideQuest Cosmetics, and we're also on TikTok and Instagram, same name, all across the board, because we care about branding. And and you can go order right now. These are like $5, so they're the same as, you know, a little cheaper than a stick of Burt's Bees with I hate to say it, but a much better recipe that lasts much longer.
I mean, that is the other thing about the ones that just slap on a logo, isn't it? There's also that brand taxing as well, you know, just for the nerds, and just gouge the cash out of them. So no, that's nicely affordable. It's a great, excellent. No, I mean, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I mean, as somebody who struggles with moisturizing and keeping kind of looking after himself when he does go to San Diego, and when Caroline, when Caroline gets herself a lip gloss or a lip balm, when kind of like burns through, because it's just so warm out there. So no, that did fantastic. Right, so I mean, what we have been doing with these shows as we're running through, we're only keeping them nice and short. So, you know, we can talk to you all day, frankly. I can talk to you all day.
Likewise.
But, I mean, we'll take this time now then, chance to talk about San Diego Comic-Con 2025 in terms of what you've seen from the schedule, what you've seen from the programming so far. Like we've talked about the studios dialing back from participating, and what you see as the landscape of San Diego Comic-Con so far. Where are you in your enthusiasm and in excitement for Comic-Con this year? I mean, is it a little bit tempered, or are you full in? Are you full in?
I think that it is specifically due to my like experience and my predicament at Comic-Con where I'm, you know, essentially going for free. I am very excited to see all of my friends who I haven't seen. Oh, you know, Comic-Con is one of those things where usually everyone comes. So there are people that you only see like once a year, once every
Yeah.
few years. So I'm really excited to see them. It's kind of weird because I'm not like about like studio panels. Like I've been going for so long and most of the time I'm working, so like I've rarely been to Hall H unless I have a client there. I don't get to go to too many panels because I'm usually working. But this year I have an incredible opportunity to, you know, once I know what my schedule is, like really plan out the day. So with all of that said, the number one thing I am most excited about is the Lucas Museum panel, which is coming to Hall H.
You are not on your own.
Oh man, and you know what's wild is like I feel like that's the biggest panel this year. Like maybe it's my perspective as a Star Wars fan, maybe it's not the biggest panel. I have no idea what Marvel is planning. I actually haven't really like looked into what the studios are doing, but that panel, George Lucas is coming to Comic-Con for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And to learn more about the museum and see him speak and all of that, that's going to be so monumental and exciting for me as a fan of his and as a fan of Star Wars and Lucasfilm. And I'm just like really interested in what that is going to look like, because we, you know, Hall H is usually where like, you know, Marvel, DC, big panels, big studios, big this and that. And this is for a museum. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't think we're
I mean,
getting
I think
Star
that's
Wars
what a
news
lot of
here.
people are going to have to sort of like temper themselves
Yeah.
when it comes to this. Because, like I say, he's not just. If someone goes up to the microphone and says, okay, who shot first? That's not this panel. That's not what this is about. You've got Guillermo del Toro, who is a co-chair of the museum. You've got Doug Chiang up there, who is going to be represented huge. Oh, I'm a huge Doug Chiang fan.
Huge fan. Yeah.
It's going to be about the museum. But it's the fact that they're opening up Hall H for that one panel. It's 6,500 in, half an hour, 6,500 out. It's just going to be such a strange vibe. And to take then 6,500 off the floor and have people lined up for that panel, which will be, I guarantee it's going to be an overnight camp for some, because it like you say, it's such a historic and monumental panel. It's just going to, I'll put the question to you then, because it's something that's been percolating in my mind, and we've kind of been talking about this when we were doing the panels over the course of the weekend. Is it the kind of panel then that could actually overcome and dominate the con, because it is such a massive deal?
Yeah. You know what's wild is like I feel like and this isn't to downplay how cool and important and awesome the Lucasfilm Museum is, or the Lucas Museum is, but I think it's the driving factor that like George Lucas and Guillermo del Toro will be at Comic-Con having a discussion. And I think that's
it would be one of the few panels where he's not swearing like a trooper.
Exactly. And you know, George doesn't leave his house very often. If I were him, I wouldn't either. So this is an incredibly rare opportunity to like see him speak live and like, you know, get his view on what the museum is and what it means and what's going to be there. I'm really excited about that too, you know. Like I think this is going to be, despite it not being like a Marvel movie or DC movie panel, I think this is going to be like the crown jewel of Comic-Con panels, because it's that special. Like the creator of Star Wars is going to speak at Comic-Con.
There's not many panels where David Glanzer actually releases a press release about it.
Yeah.
He'll talk about the con all day, but this is a panel he's actually released a press release about a single hour session. So yeah, you're absolutely right. As for the rest of it, then, I mean, we've like you say, there's no Marvel, there's no DC, there's no Universal, there's no A24, which really upsets me. There's no I mean, there's Amazon Prime that are doing their thing. There's no Apple TV. It does seem like the focus has shifted, and it seems to have shifted to gaming and to comics, which is great. What else do you feel that you're going to be kind of keeping your eye out for when it comes to heading out onto the floor? Is it the comics? Is it just going to be generally wandering? Is it over to the art section? Where are you going to be finding yourself?
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird year because now I just kind of have free reign to go wherever I want.
You're going to
But I
discover a whole
definitely,
new con.
yeah, it's weird because, like, my experience is now different, and the studios are doing different things. I have usual stops when it comes to Comic Con. I always go by the DC booth, I go by the Disney Plus booth, the Marvel booth. Star Wars is having its booth again, which is big. I was worried they wouldn't be coming back, and it seems they're back in full force. Pun intended. So I think those will be like my immediates, and then usually I go to the artist alley like directly after that on my first walkthrough, just to see what's there, to mark down like what I want, and then come back to it before the end of the weekend. So usually, I mean, that's my usual Comic Con path. Me, when it comes to Comic Con, I've always been an offsite girly. I've always really enjoyed like going to those immersive activations. So that's kind of what I'm looking out for this year. I feel like there's a bar was set in like 2014, I want to say, when they did that immersive Blade Runner
Yeah,
activation,
which I
2049.
completely missed out on because
Oh my god.
no,
Oh,
it was the year that I went as press, volunteer staff, and as an attendee. So
right.
my
Oh,
bandwidth was I can
Jesus.
barely remember that year.
Yeah, that activation like stood out in my mind, and like is part of the reason I stayed in marketing for entertainment, because I was like, I want to do something like this. It was so like amazing. Like they, if anybody had missed it, essentially like there was a pop-up for Blade Runner 2049, which like isn't, necessarily a movie that like calls for something this
Easy
large.
Tiger, I like that film.
Like I like it, but it's also like, wow, you did all this for this, and nobody's doing anything of this caliber for like any other movie. And so like you would walk in, there was like a 3D like thing that moved, like transferred you to like LA 2049, and then you walked into the experience, and it was like raining, and there were like live actors walking around. They had like alcohol samples and like noodles, and there was a noodle stand, and there were like places where if you interacted, you could get free swag and stuff. And there were like actors who were being arrested for being replicants. It was just like wild, the caliber of activation this was. And I've been chasing that high ever since with Comic Con activations. I'm like, can anybody top this at all? And honestly, I haven't found that topper yet. And that's also been my goal as an entertainment marketer, is like, one day I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to do something that feels like you're in a theme park, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's sort of been what I've been chasing after ever since. But I'm going to go to Petco Park, see what's up there, the lot back there. The parties look a little quieter this year.
Mm-mm.
So that's another thing that, like you have your staples, like the fandom party, the
Get in.
yeah, if you get in, exactly. So it's kind of like, I don't know. And I'm also, I'm much older than I was
Oh,
before.
shush you.
And so like I have a bedtime now, and so the Katrina I was in like 2014, 2015 at Comic Con is a very different person than who I am right now, because like I my friends are like, are you going to Mosh Isley? And I'm like, oh, that sounds really loud. It sounds great, but I'm just like, oh, I don't know, like maybe. Which, by the way, everyone should go to Mosh Isley. It is a very, very cool, fun party. If you've never been, please go. Don't listen to me, I'm tired. Really, really cool party. But yeah, I'm just like, I just want to go have dinner with my friends this year after Comic-Con. Like, I want to go experience it in a way I've never experienced it before, and then just spend time with people, you
I
know?
think there's that vibe this year, especially with the current climate.
Hmm.
Uh, just in the US generally, I think there's going to be a lot of people that's just going to feel strength in companionship and tribe, and yeah, I think the meeting up with friends is going to be a huge
Yeah.
focus this year. It's going to be a huge element where people are just going to go, okay, let's just commiserate or come together and plan the future
Hmm. Yeah.
together as a tribe. No, I totally get that, and yeah, that I think it's going to be similar in vibe to those kind of years shortly after COVID, where it was of let's just come together, let's just
Yeah.
remind ourselves of the friends that we have, and yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try and the last time I went to Comic-Con, we went to the goodness, I keep forgetting which aircraft carrier museum is there, and my brain is always like, it's the Intrepid, because that's where I went to college in New York, so my brain is like, Intrepid. That's not it. But we went to that aircraft carrier in San Diego last year, and I definitely want to go like for a longer amount. And this year, because I'm an exhibitor and I don't have to run from one end of San Diego to the other, I now have like a little more like breathing room to see the city, which I think is really exciting. So we're gonna do that. We might go see the ship that they used as the HMS Surprise in Master and
Yeah.
Commander is docked there in San Diego, and my partner and I have been talking about like maybe getting married on that boat one day, so we kind of want to go see it and see how that's happening. Yes, the Midway. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Thank you.
I accidentally turned off all of the comments. Everyone's getting comments in. Yeah, the Midway. Thank you very much indeed to Chuck for reminding.
Thank you.
It's a hell of a thing to go and visit that ship. It's very, very cool indeed.
Yeah.
Michael's joining us as well. Hello, Michael. This is what I mean. This is where everyone's just coming together and seeing you for.
Yeah.
It's been so long, Katrine. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to see people at also that was I was looking at my phone and not the screen, and I saw Michael Powell, which is a different person from Michael P. So sorry, Michael. I actually thought you were somewhere else, but I'm also excited to see you at Comic-Con.
Nicely caught there. Yeah, seamless. I don't think anyone noticed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it really is all about meeting up with people this year. I think there's definitely that kind of vibe, and I think that's also reflected in a number of the panels. There's some great stuff to go and see, and great programming. But I think it's going to be the exhibition floor is going to be not only just to kind of catch the various booths and catch the things that you can see behind the tables, but also just out on the floor, just to bump into people. So I mean, I'm going to miss it. I'm absolutely going to miss it. I'm definitely looking forward to checking in with everybody's social media, just to kind of see what everyone's vibe is, and I think it's just going to be one of coming together and being a real kind of tribe and family again. So that's going to be really very cool.
There is a panel I want to recommend to everyone, though. I will be going. A lot of the coolest people in the industry will be going. I say that because I'm biased, but it's true. So there is a panel on Sunday, July 26th.
Very nice.
Oh, Saturday. There's a panel on Saturday.
Okay.
Room 6DE. It's called 6DE. It's called Making a Maverick, Creating Art Outside the System. And if you're a fan of Mark Bernardin, who is a prolific writer for comics, for TV, etc., you should definitely go. It's also going to be the place where the trailer for my friend Cheyenne's original series, The Comic Shop, the comic shops
I
trailer
am a
will be
backer.
debuting at that panel. So please, please, please go. It's called Making a Maverick, Creating Art Outside the System. It's at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday. So I know it's close to parties, but like, please go. Cheyenne has been working so hard. I'm sure you know, Leonard, like almost half a decade on making this show happen.
She's been dragging that over the line. Absolutely.
A record-breaking Kickstarter. The show is such a funny concept. And I really, if you are looking to support new ideas and not the same rehashed stuff that studios keep throwing at us, if you're looking to find new things to be a fan of, please, please, please go to this panel. It's not just Cheyenne's amazing TV series. It's also all of these indie creators who are making stuff outside of the studio system. And clearly the studio system is falling apart right now because we don't have all these. If it were, Hall H would be a lot more of a madhouse this year. So get in early with these new amazing creators, because like they are going places, and I would love to see as many of you at that panel as possible.
That would be brilliant. I mean, yeah, it would have been one that I absolutely would go to if I was there. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Cheyenne's work. I mean, I've been certainly from the sizzle reel, from that first test piece that she did. So no, very much up for seeing what she does with a full series, and like you say, with a hell of a budget, considering, like you say, she raised a serious wad of cash. So yeah, looking to see what she throws at the screen on that one. Look very, very, very cool. Excellent stuff. So listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you get off and enjoy the rest of your day. But one more time, tell everyone where everyone can find you. And what I'm going to do is, if you follow me, everyone, on Englishman SDCC, I will find where this company is and put the booth number out, and so everyone can find Katrina and go and see her sell spaceships at you.
Yes, you can find me anywhere on the internet. If you look for Katrina, that's OHCATRINA. I am on all platforms except that one platform that we don't want to be on.
We don't talk about that one.
And I am the founder of SideQuest Cosmetics, an all-new nerdy beauty company for nerds by nerds. And you can pick up one of our amazing TTRPG-inspired lip balms right on SideQuestCosmetics.com. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah. She may have a couple of samples, perhaps not actual items. No, not to sell or to no. It's just samples. She may have a couple in her handbag when you go and see her at the booth, perhaps.
Yep.
There you go.
Slip it on the table.
Crafty marketing for yourself there. Excellent. Listen, Katrina, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much indeed for coming on.
Thank you.
It's just great to see you, and it's great to see you back at Comic Con as well.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to be on the show. I hope I can come back again soon. And
you have open invitation. Listen, what we'll do is I'll just every time I do a show, it doesn't matter who it's about or what's going on, I'll just send you the link, and you just gate crash. I'm down for that.
I love it. That works for me.
Excellent stuff. Take care. Look after yourself. Thank you so much indeed.
See ya.
Oh, it's been a pleasure to see Katrina again. Thank you so much indeed for her coming on. That's brilliant. Slight change in the camera, as you can tell, but thank you very much indeed to DJI for messing up my camera. Hopefully everything back to normal as of tomorrow. I can kind of play the end credits and wrap things up, but just to remind you, we are going to be doing a show tomorrow as we cover all the news that has happened over the last couple of days. We are going to be looking at panels as well, and I think I'm going to have a final definitive kind of report on my exploration of international guests heading into San Diego, and how it appears there's a slight dearth in the light of the current administration and current tone of the US. Yeah, I've been doing my work on that. Thank you very much indeed to everyone for prompting me to crack on with that. But yeah, we're going to be getting that up on the show as of tomorrow. And then on Thursday, with 7 days to go to San Diego Comic-Con, we're going to be joined by our friends at Den of Geek. Now, Den of Geek is a magazine that posts all sorts of bits and pieces that they deal with, including a brilliant magazine that they post and put out especially for San Diego Comic-Con. But this year they're doing something a little bit special, especially when it comes to a little bit of AI and AR, not AI, we don't deal with AI on the show, AR. And they're going to be coming on to talk about that on a special episode. That's going to be on Thursday. Possibly not going to be doing an episode on Friday, but that's only because I may be traveling, because myself and Caroline heading away this weekend. But I am still going to be doing some episodes over the course of the weekend. More on that as we get closer. But that's us. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. Once again, thanks to Katrina for joining us. Thank you indeed for everybody with their comments and welcoming Katrina back to Comic-Con. Indeed, into the blue, Mr. saying, lovely interview. Oops. There you go. That's where the phone just goes flying. Yes, she is, isn't she? She's a superstar, and we love her to death. Thank you very much indeed for your company. We're back again tomorrow. From myself to you. Do take care, and hopefully we'll see you with slightly better organisation, with slightly better cameras again. Tomorrow with another Talking Con, a cup of tea with Englishman in San Diego. As always, anything you want to talk about, head to the socials, Englishman SDCC on Blue Sky and on Threads. What do you want us to talk about on tomorrow's show? And we'll dive into it from 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT tomorrow with 8 days to go. It's definitely into single figures and definitely getting real now. If anybody is living in San Diego and has seen the wraps going up, if you could please take some pictures and send them to me, because I'd like to see what's actually going on, because it seems a little early that the wraps are going around the building. So I'd like to see those. From me to you, see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.